Super Clever 1972 here. Also, of course, known as Brian. And as you probably know, people watch my channel, people that watch other people's channels that are, movie collector related. You probably know about the Barnes and Noble sale for Criterions, which usually takes place twice a year. Um, Usually it's around, it's in July and November, and it ends today. Um, it's 50% off, so probably most people that know about the sale probably have bought their Criterions. Um, so, I've mentioned I wanted to take a trip to Japan, and I do have some money set aside for that. And there's something I can't get into detail about, which might delay the trip to Japan a little bit. But I decided to buy some Criterions, and I did have some gift cards. I found out when I was at the register that one of the gift cards had been used. I thought hadn't been used. And then because I have a Barnes & Noble MasterCard, and if I spend up to $2,500 on it, I get a $25 gift certificate. So I try to pay more on the credit card this month in order to get another certificate. And I guess just the way it's set up or something, I guess it's coming in December. So I guess bad luck there. Maybe I could pick up Joker. I'm thinking maybe Joker. Maybe they'll have a Warner sale or something like that. Warner Brothers sale. Maybe I could pick up Joker. I haven't seen Joker, but I hear it's great. But anyway, so I picked up some Criterions. But then I also noticed they had Arrows on sale. Maybe there's a YouTuber I watch who has streams basically almost every day. Not every day. He did have videos every day of October. His name's Aaron Penn. He's from Canada. Lots of people watch his streams. And I've been watching his streams, and he's been talking highly about Arrow films. And Barnes & Noble had a 50% off Arrow sale as well that also ended today. And I looked into Arrow, and a friend of mine let me borrow Female Prisoner Scorpion box set, Arrow box set, and I was really impressed with how much work they put into it. And because of that, I decided to buy the Female Prisoner Scorpion box set's Arrow set. But that was a while back. It was more than a few months ago. And it's sort of sitting in my closet, but I want to hopefully I'll get to watching it another time one of these days. But it was fantastic how they put it together. They had a nice booklet, and they had all these special features on the on the discs, and it was just fantastic. So I decided to buy 4 Arrow films, and I bought 6 Criterions. And when I was at the Barnes & Noble in Vermont, I was looking to see if they had more Arrows, but they didn't. They didn't have any Arrows out on sale, and I purchased those Arrows previous to going to Vermont. So the Barnes & Noble near me doesn't have a Blu-ray, DVD, CD area. It's just all books. So anyways, enough chatter. Let's get to it. So anyways, so this is what I picked up at the Vermont store. First off is Beatles, Hard Day's Night. I like the Beatles. They're a good band. And I think this was loaded with special features. Just there's a ton of special features on there, I think. I think this is dual format. Yes, it's dual format. I have to say the latter part of the Beatles' career, as far as their music goes, I think more interesting than the earlier part. I mean, I do like the earlier music, but I think they really matured more with it. They just made their music was much more experimental and daring, and I don't know. I mean, that's just how I feel. Not to say that the earlier music wasn't great, because it is, but you know, I don't know. Just you have a picture here of the Beatles. Yeah, this is their early period. They did have some good songs. They had a lot of good songs at the start of their career. Just comparing them, they, you know, like my favorite Beatles album is Abbey Road, and I like the White Album, and one of the other Sgt. Pepper, because you know they experimented at that point. I think they sort of experimented with earlier albums as well. You know, Revolver is a good album. Um, I think I had Rubber Soul. But you know, one of the great rock bands, and like the prototype for the rest that came after. So that's A Hard Day's Night. And that was directed by Richard Lester. He would later go on to direct Superman 2 because Richard Donner was hired by the Salkinds, Ilya Salkind, and is it Peter Salkind? And it was like a living hell for him making that movie. And he did shoot. They shot Superman 1 and 2 back to back, but I think he quit the production after most of the film was shot, and they had Richard Lester finish it. And there is a Richard Donner cut of Superman 2. I've only seen the Richard Lester one, but enough of that. This is Quadrophenia. This is based on the Who opera, the rock opera. I like the Who; they're a good band. I like a lot of older rock. You know, Zeppelin, Pink Floyd, Black Sabbath. Who else do I like? Hendrix, The Doors, The Stones, Iggy Pop. Then a little newer, Nirvana, Lady Gaga, Alicia Keys, Guns N' Roses. I can't remember them all. There's probably a few I'm missing. Prince, and I like other things too. You know, like Miles Davis, Coltrane, Beethoven, Bach, Shostakovich, Stravinsky, Wagner. But yeah, it seems to be AC/DC, Van Halen. Yeah, I love Van Halen. I love the AC/DC. I've been listening to those two bands recently a lot. But this I really like this album, Quadrophenia. I also like Who's Next a lot. I think they're masterpiece albums. They're fantastic, well done pieces of work, very well crafted. And I think Quadrophenia. I think I have seen Tommy the movie, and I don't really like it that much. I haven't seen it in a while, but Ken Russell directed it, and I don't know. Ken Russell's The Devils is a masterpiece. It's on Criterion Channel right now, and if you haven't seen it, you should see it because it's really good. I don't think it's released on DVD or Blu-ray, or if it is, it's out of print and it's extremely expensive. I think that's the case. Maybe you can find it on eBay or if you can find it on Amazon, but it's a third-party seller. It's probably awfully expensive. There's a shot in The Devils. Maybe it's at the very end of the film. I don't remember. No, maybe it's not. In any event, if you see the movie The Pianist by Roman Polanski, I think it's the last shot in the film, he does an homage to The Devils by Ken Russell. And that's a masterpiece, fantastic movie. But I've seen some other Ken Russell movies like Tommy, And I saw a film called Woman in Love, which is based off the D.H. Lawrence book, and I wasn't impressed. I thought it wasn't that fantastic. You know, I really I had high hopes, and they were kind of dashed. And that's a Criterion, by the way, Woman in Love, and I didn't like it that much. Anyways, next one up. I think this is a silent movie. Yes, it is, with Swedish intertitles with English subtitles. Haxon. I think I've wanted to buy this one for a while, and I didn't get it. So here, I finally bought it. But it looks really cool. The design of the film, you know, the cover and everything. I don't know anything about this. Totally blind buy, but it looks incredibly cool. And most of the time, I'm fine with what Criterion releases. I really am impressed by how they present their work, and you know what they pick, and how they present it. A few times I've been disappointed. I sent some of that stuff to other people because I didn't want to hang on to it, because and that stuff that I did send to other people, I did watch. I couldn't get into it, so most of the time, though, almost all the time, they impress me, and so I have high hopes for this one. So I think I'll like it, you know. So I don't know. So that's Haxon. It's from 1922. Okay, so next up we got this film. I didn't know if I should buy it. Probably my friend has it because this is his favorite director, but I don't know. I mean, I think this is David Lynch, The Art Life. It's not about his films. I do not think. I think it is about his paintings. Maybe I'm wrong on this. I don't know. Maybe it's about his filmmaking too, but it's talking about his paintings. That's why I bought it, because you know, David Lynch, like Tarantino or Godard, I either love or hate his films. Like some of my favorite, few of my favorite movies are by Lynch: Eraserhead and Mulholland Drive. So I sort of like the enigmatic nature of Eraserhead, yes. Mulholland Drive too, but Eraserhead more so. One of the great debut films of all time, I think. And this should be pretty cool, looking at his art, you know. So, oh, it has a nice. See, I'm just opening this up right in front of you. I haven't even looked at this previous to showing this to you. So this is my first time seeing it as well. So that's his artwork, I guess. So this should be pretty cool. I know some of these things I'm buying are on the Criterion channel. I know that, but I just they get rid of things off of the Criterion channel. Like I bought the Coker trilogy, which is an Iranian movie. I wanted to have some Iranian films. I think I only have two Iranian sets of films: the Coker trilogy and another film by Abbas Kiarostami called Close Up. Maybe I've seen Close Up before. I don't know. I've seen some Iranian films, and I don't remember all the names of the ones I've seen. But you know, I thought I'd add a few to my collection. And I do have one on DVD, VHS called Baran, about a young woman who disguises herself as a boy so she can get a job to raise money to help her family out. So anyways, okay. So, and then I picked this up at the store, Barnes and Noble. Silent Ozu. I have some. I have some other Silent Ozu. They're crime dramas, and that's kind of unusual, I guess, for Ozu because he directed like family dramas. So, but anyways, these are 3 family comedies, and these were in the 20s, I believe. I have no idea. Um, you know, what these are about, but I like Ozu. You know, he does really nice, tranquil, um, reflective movies, and I'll be satisfied seeing them. I think, you know, we'll see how it goes, and yeah, that should be a fun, you know, interesting to watch. And then let's get to the online orders. The first one I'm going to show you is another Criterion. It's the last Criterion I'm going to show you. I do not know if this is out of print. I tried to look at a store to buy it from, you know, well, not a store, directly from Barnes and Noble, and I think they said you could only buy from a third-party seller, so I did through Barnes and Noble, and I got this, which I wanted because it was released in August of this year, I believe. The Flavor of Green Tea Over Rice. I think I was originally going to buy this with the gift certificate. I did use the gift certificate during the sale with the Criterions at Barnes and Noble. I also had my Barnes and Noble membership, so I get 10% off with the sale and my membership. So I got like 60% off. But if you're a member of Barnes and Noble and you have things shipped to you, you have free shipping. So, but with my arrows, I think I didn't have to have the free shipping because I ordered over a certain amount of money, and that automatically qualified you for free shipping. Okay, so now we get to the arrows. I bought 4 of them, and first one I purchased was a Takashi Miike film Audition. I've heard a lot about this. The town that I live in, I've seen the film at the library, but then it disappeared, and then it said it was there, and I looked for it, and that's the card that came with it inside. I think maybe this doesn't have a lot of special features. I'm not sure, but I think Arrow has that trademark of having reversible artwork that you can put on the cover. And I think this was the artwork on the cover for the one at the library. But I've looked again and again there for it, and I don't know what happened to it. I don't know if they lost it or it's in mending or what, but I decided to buy it. So, okay, next up we got 2 box sets. If you know about my channel, you know I've been session with Japan, and I have a lot of Japanese films, so obviously probably I'm going to buy more Japanese films. So this is a set of 3 Japanese films. It's called The Transient Life. Oh wait, it's called the Buddhist Trilogy. The first film is called This Transient Life. The second film is called Mandela, and the third film is called Poem. It's by Ikio Jisoji. And showing those naked bodies on the front there, I think I'm covered as far as YouTube policy goes, because the reason I'm saying all this is because I checked off on the latest settings on my YouTube channel to make it this only viewable to 18 or older people. So I don't feel exactly responsible if this is shown. Maybe I do censor some of my stuff. I'm not quite sure on that. I don't know. But you know, this isn't a. If you think of nudity in the service of art or education, and not exploitation, then perhaps you can show nudity without feeling in danger of jeopardizing your YouTube channel. You know, I don't think I'm jeopardizing my YouTube channel. Could be wrong, but you know, people could find loopholes to get through these kinds of things. You know, and you know, try to find a problem with your channel. I don't know, but I think I'm safe. I think there's a few pictures in here that are a little exposed skin or whatever. I don't see them. I could have sworn I saw them. Oh yeah, there's one right there. So I don't think I'm going to get in trouble for that, and it's brief, you know. So, okay, and then I'll show you the films themselves. Which direction do we go? Oh, that's the third one. Okay, so this is the first. So this is This Transient Life. It comes with a card here. Gas Food Lodging by Alison Andrews. Just advertisements for their reversible artwork. Advertisements for other films they have. That's why I said Gas Food Lodging. Got Gas Food Lodging there. So just another film of theirs that they have in their collection. Second film is Mandela, which is a Buddhist. Well, obviously it says Buddhist trilogy. It's those circles that the Buddhist monks make, you know. And last off, we have got Poem with an additional movie called It Was a Faint Dream. And you also have the reversible artwork as well. I think this one is kind of lean on the special features, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But that was like one of the reasons I decided to buy some of these Arrow films, was because they put a lot of care into their I have a thing in the back, but it's like a sticky thing that comes off, you know. It's just what maybe it says inside here. I don't know, but yeah. So this is the Buddhist trilogy. Second to last thing, we're almost towards the end of the video. This is really cool. I'm really digging this. I haven't watched it yet, but the way it's presented, everything, the way it looks, what I've looked at inside, it looks really cool. I haven't watched any of it yet, but I'm looking forward to it. it's the Ringu collection. This is the Japanese set of horror films. I do have Ring 1 and 2, the American versions with Naomi Watts. I think she was in Ring 1, and I think she was in Ring 2. But I've only seen, of all these Ring films, either the adaptations or the original Japanese ones, I've only seen the Ring, the first Ring remake. And I wasn't impressed with it, but I think the original Ring movies in Japan are supposed to be very, very good. So I have high expectations, and I think I'll be pleased when I see these. And this has a boatload of special features on here. This should be fantastic. So that's Ring 1, or Ringu. Ringu 2 with the reversible artwork. And then you got Ringo 0. It's a prequel, I believe. Funny thing about this Ringu series is when I ordered it online, I thought I'd ordered the collection, but it turned out I ordered Ringu number 1. And I had to go to my local Barnes & Noble and return it and reorder this online because I ordered the wrong thing. But yeah. And then you get this nice booklet, a nice thick booklet. Maybe it's like 60 pages. I'm not exactly sure on that. I don't know. Maybe Japanese horror is more atmospheric and not really scary, perhaps. I think I've seen, well, I have seen some earlier Japanese horror movies like Kuroneko, Jugoku, House. And I don't know. Maybe they're kind of they're more scary per se. Oh, Onibaba. But these newer horror movies, Japanese horror movies, they seem more atmospheric and less, quote, scary. They're not really gory. They're more of an atmosphere. They're more just eerie, you know. So, and probably this will take a while to dig myself through or what have you. Trying to show you every picture in the booklet. Yep, there's no picture there. You know, somewhere I read about Japanese drama, acting, whatever, that, well, maybe in the case of earlier Japanese films, you could even go back to the 80s, like with Ron, like with, what is her name? Lady, I can't remember, but like this over-dramatized type of acting and this over-dramatized sort of laughing. I think it's what they do. They're sort of that's not considered unnatural in their sense, if I'm perceiving this correctly. However, in actual actual Japanese society itself, people are more reserved with their emotions. They're not like Japanese couples, if Japanese boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. They don't really show their affection outside closed doors, like holding hands or putting heads, woman putting a head on her husband's shoulder. They don't do any of that. But if you watch the Japanese movies, they tend to be very, what's a term I could use? Theatrical, histrionic, something like that. So it's kind of a contrast, but like the acting sort of over exaggerated, if you will. I guess there's something to that. And last off, we got this American Werewolf in London. The reason I purchased this, I guess, was a few reasons. First off, a friend of mine on here, Sasha, also known as Sexy Monkey, that's his channel name. He said this was his favorite horror movie of all time. And so that was one of the reasons I bought it. I've seen it before. I saw it a long, long time ago. Was it the late 80s maybe? Or the mid 80s? I'm not sure exactly when. I think I saw it on video cassette, and I think it was like a video store I rented it from or something like that. And I remember the transformation scene of the werewolf was pretty fantastic. I sort of contrasted to the Howling in a way, like how that's done. I think both of them are pretty impressive how they transform into werewolves. I think Rob Bottin did The Howling, and then Rick Baker did American Werewolf in London. And you have Griffin Dunne in this, who was, I think this is before he was in Martin Scorsese's Mean Streets. Yeah, so I haven't seen it in a while. That's the reversible artwork there. Let's see. There we go. And then we got, they got some advertisements in there for another movie. Of course, if you watch Sasha's channel, he shows you all this stuff. So this is a bit redundant, I guess, but I guess I'll just show it to you. And it's like, let's see, it's like werewolf pictures on the back there. So it's a nice touch, and it shows that they put in a lot of care. But these Arrow editions, they're a nice addition to my collection because they just really put a lot of care into it, and I appreciate their effort in making good-looking sets of movies. So there's the original artwork, as Sasha said on his channel, and then you got the artwork for the current Blu-ray. And then you get a booklet. Of course, I don't know how many pictures are in here. There's probably a ton of pictures. And that's what I liked about hearing about this, is that this was just loaded with special features. Because I know Sasha likes a lot of special features, and I think he also tries to see if the film has Blu-ray is the best version possible. You know, like um, the transfer is good, the sound is good, the picture is good, the aspect ratio, and so I guess this is the best one to pick up of this particular movie based on those criteria, based on that criteria, rather. It's taking, let's see. I haven't seen this in a while, but this is a very fascinating film. I think the selling point, if you want to watch this movie, is just how well done the werewolf changing scenes are. You know, the werewolf transformation scenes are, and you know, I think these days, you know, we have CGI for things like that, or we have a combination of CGI and physical effects, and it's nice to see a film that relies more on. I'm not saying CGI films don't have their validity, that they don't have their place. It's just it's nice to see a film that can rely on working with less, working with trying to think outside the box, because you don't have all the you don't have all the you don't have all the advantages. You don't have the best in technology. You don't have the most advanced stuff to use to make films with. So you have to be innovative and think outside the box, you know. So, you know, that's what low budget filmmaking was like, you know. So, okay. So, anyways, that's long enough. This video has been going on for quite some time here, and anyways, so I've been working on some GarageBand songs. I think I got to edit some of them a little bit more. I got a looper pedal. The previous video to this one, it's about a week ago, it says that I put it up. Looper pedal, like you hit the pedal, you play some music, you hit it again, and it repeats the same amount of music. And you can play over it, and then you can hit it again and put another layer on. So I've been doing some stuff with that. And I've got, I'm not really into Christmas or Christmas music, but I did a song, and just accidentally, I discovered, what's that song? Jingle Bells. And so I did a song that had a little bit of Jingle Bells in it. So, all right. So I think I'm filling up the hard drive. So I better leave now. So thanks for watching. Comments are welcome. I'll see you in the near future. Bye. Thanks for watching.